Okay, our third and final speaker is
Jenny Hoffman.
Jenny Hoffman. Think about too many things at the same time. Okay, and she's talking from the presentation mastery, and this is a project that the purpose of this project is to identify the primary leadership style or styles. And there are three kinds of communication styles: direct communicators, and they are focused, supportive. Communicators are cooperative. Analytical communicators are methodical and initiating. Initiating communicators are enthusiastic. Our next speaker will be sharing the evolution of the communication style in a speech titled "Putting the You and the I in Communication." Please, welcome.
There I was, at the movie theater for the first time in 2 years. The person behind the counter hands me my ticket and they say, "Enjoy your movie." Without thinking, I turn to them and I say two of the most embarrassing words when said in the wrong context. "You too."
Oh.
What? I spoke without thinking. That was a time I communicated poorly. And communication is important. All of us communicate every day with all kinds of people who have all kinds of communication styles. If you were here for my icebreaker, you heard about how I had mutism as a child from extreme anxiety. So how did I go from being mute, having no communication style, to standing here before you, giving my 5th Toastmaster speech? Well, it was a journey, and it started with my first communication style, direct communication. Once I began to speak, I decided, why waste my breath, why waste my words? I'll just say what I need to say and be done with it. So I would say things like, "I don't like that. That's stupid. You're ugly." Okay, that's a little more extreme. But I did say things that I thought were funny. I thought direct was the way to go. And thankfully I had people in my life who told me, you might think you're communicating this fun way, but you're actually coming across as kind of mean. What? Jenny Otto? Now Jenny Hoffman? Mean? That's not what I want to do. I want to be supportive. Time for a change. It's time for me to become a supportive communicator. Everyone likes supportive communicators. They're encouraging, they make people feel good. That's the kind of communicator I want to be. So I did. Took some time, took some change, took some work, but I became a supportive communicator. But the problem with supportive communicators is sometimes they're so busy supporting everybody else, they forget to speak up about what they think. It went the opposite way from being direct. And an example of this would be my first year of marriage. A lot of people say the first year of marriage is the hardest, but mine was so easy, I never had conflict because I never spoke up. I would say things like, "What a dream come true, 7 weekends in a row with your family? That's exactly what I want to do, babe." The second year was, I devolved back into a direct communicator. It finally came out. "I'm going to strangle your mother! I'm going to strangle her!" Oops. That's not healthy, and that's not the kind of communicator I wanted to be. It was time for another change. So I became the kind of communicator I am now, initiating. Initiating communicators are social and fun, super good looking, very humble. That's the kind of person I am. I wanted to be an initiating communicator, and that's exactly what I became. I was going to be mad. I lost my spot. Okay. This is a great speech, by the way. Having all of those different kinds of communication style and becoming an initiating communicator was great because I had experience in each of them. So when I spoke with people who had different styles, I could talk to them. An example of this would be my brother. He is an IT guy and he is a direct communicator to the max. A few weeks ago, I went on a family vacation. And he was there, and like a brother, he was being a jerk. Kids, cover your ears. So I pulled him aside, and I said, Jeff, you're being an ass. Stop being an ass, or I'm going to kick you in the ass. I spoke to him directly, but I did it in my own style. When I'm talking to a student I mentor, I have to change and evolve that. I have to turn into a supportive communicator for them, while still bringing my own style in. If one of them comes to me and says, Jenny, my boyfriend's being a jerk. Well, you know what? If I say, ugh, break up with him, that's not what they want to hear. They want to hear someone supportive. So I would say something like, no, I'm sorry you're going through that. I used to be in a relationship like that. I didn't like how it made me feel. I broke up with him and now I'm so much happier. Still the same message, but a different delivery. And the last kind of style of communication is analytical. And this is the one that I'm the least like. But it's the one I have to be at work. Monday through Thursday, 410s, that's me. Analytical communicators have to be more cautious. They have to be careful with what they share and with who. And I work in the government, so I get to hear all kinds of secret things about taxes and employee wages and who's in HR. I have to be careful because people want to be my best friend because I know everything about everybody. And I have to be very cautious. I struggled coming up with a call to action for you tonight. How do I make a speech about how I speak about you? Well, if you look through my speech, you'll notice maybe a theme that anytime I was unhappy with how I communicated, I changed it. I worked on it and I improved it until I was happy with it. Well, you know what the great news is? You're already doing it. You're here at Toastmasters. We're learning how to communicate, we're watching others communicate, and we're growing all at once. Isn't that great? So, here's my call to action. Keep doing it. Keep taking all the roles. Get up and speak. Be the evaluator. Do table topics even though they're the worst, I know. But keep trying to improve yourself. And my second call to action is this. Learn from my mistakes. When you're at the movie theater and they say, enjoy your movie, take a minute, think it through, and instead of saying, you too, just say what I'm about to say. Thank you.